Hi everyone. Today, August 12th, 2010, is my 7th month anniversary of being smoke-free. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about what made me come up with that decision to become smoke-free and how I went about doing it. So here we go. So I tried to quit a couple of times before, both times with disastrous results. The first time I quit cold turkey, and I quit for a week, and by the end of that week, I was such a raving beep, 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 that I couldn't even stand myself, let alone how anybody else could have dealt with me. The second time, I tried the Nicoderm CQ patches, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm smaller than the average adult female, but they made me crazy, like paranoid crazy. I drive down the road, see like a bump or something in the road, go over that and feel the bump, and I would literally have to turn back around to make sure that I hadn't hit anybody or anything so that my mind would be at ease later on. That's how crazy those patches made me. So when I made my decision to quit smoking this time, I was a little bit scared, and I'd been wanting to do it for a long time, but was so terrified of being either a beep 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 or being a paranoid mess. So I talked to my good friend Amanda, and she told me about quitnet.com. I'm going to put a link there in the crotch bar or around me somewhere, maybe both places. And she told me about this site and told me about her decision and how she was doing with her quit. And it really inspired me to really go ahead and do it. So that was in December of 2009, and I decided that I was going to wait until January of 2010 so that I could get through the holidays, because I have a sister, I have a brother, I have a nephew, and my nephew's girlfriend all coming over to the house who smoke. So being around that much would have just done me in. So I was going to actually quit on Amanda's 1-year anniversary, January 3rd. But then I decided I wasn't quite ready, and besides, I wanted my own quit date. So on the 6th of January, I went and bought some nicotine gum, because with looking at lozenges and so forth, the gum really seemed to be what would fit my lifestyle and so forth better. Of course, I tried the patches, so I didn't even look at those. And I decided on the gum. And I got just the Walmart brand mint flavored nicotine gum. And on the 8th of January, I smoked my last cigarette. However, on quitnet.com, I read that St. John's wort can act as like a mood enhancer. Basically, it should keep you from being crabby when you're going through nicotine withdrawals. So I thought, well, that's great. I'm going to go get some. So I did. Couple days, like second day of that quit, I was on the St. John's wort, and instead of making me happy or not as grumpy, it did the exact opposite for me. And I was a mess. I literally cried all day long. Then I started getting angry at everybody, because I felt like, I'm the only one giving anything up, and I'm a smoker, and everybody should love me even though I'm a smoker, and just love me for who I am. It's where the withdrawal takes you, I'm telling you. So that night I went and I did buy a pack of cigarettes, and I allowed myself to smoke that pack of cigarettes. It took me a couple of days to get through the pack, but that allowed me, I stopped taking the St. John's wort, and it allowed me to kind of clear my head, get back to where I was when I started the quit and why I wanted to quit. Obviously for my health, plus all the money that I'm going to save by not smoking, and to really think about my inspiration and get going and get my mindset straight. So on the 12th, I smoked my last cigarette and went back to using the gum without the St. John's wort. And of course, that's been 7 months now. For those of you who are terrified to quit, I understand where you're at. I was completely terrified to even try again because of the past experiences I had. But it's so incredibly worth it. Now, I'm not going to lie. This journey has not been easy. I have had days where I was craving so hard I had hands on my keys ready to go to the store to go buy cigarettes. And even to this day, 7 months later, I still every now and then have a moment where I crave a cigarette. Granted, those cravings are not quite as strong as they used to be, and they don't last as long as they used to be. And it does get easier. QuitNet has been a wonderful thing for me, and they have chat rooms, they have forums, they have where it keeps count of how many cigarettes you haven't smoked, how much money you've saved, how much lifetime you saved by not smoking, how many days you've been quit. And just logging in and seeing those statistics can really be a motivation and inspiration as well. Because you're like, wow, look at that. Look how much money I've saved. Look how much longer I get to live now. So, with being on QuitNet, I've made quite a few friends in the chat rooms, and I cannot remember which one of them, sorry, said this to me, but I think that when this was said to me, that is when it really clicked for me, and the decision that I was a non-smoker was completely made. I knew there was no going back. And this is what was said to me. You have to stop thinking of that cigarette as your friend. That one that has always been there for you through thick and thin. Always there for you when you're bored or you're stressed, whatnot. You have to start looking at that cigarette as an abusive lover. Somebody who is slowly killing you every time you take in that nicotine. And when it was put to me that way, like I said, it really clicked in, and I think that was my cut point. I was done. The important thing is that you can't quit quitting. If you quit and you go back, then get your mindset straight and start again. I have been extremely lucky. I've had my family, I've had my boyfriend, and my unbiological sister Amanda, and one of the greatest quit buddies, Jessica, plus all the people at QuitNet behind me in this journey. And I think if it had not been for all of them, I would not have been successful with this quit. So I was speaking about how they give you statistics, so I went ahead real quick and looked up mine. Now I'm going to say I'm recording this actually like a day early than my actual 7th month anniversary. So when my the actual 7th month hits, it will be a little bit more. But just to give you an idea, over the 7 months, I have been 210 days smoke-free. I have not smoked 3,153 cigarettes. To kind of give you an idea of how much that is, that's about 16, 17 cartons, somewhere in there. Yeah. I have saved $691.55 in money. And I have saved 24 days, almost a full month, of lifetime. So I came up with a list of tips to help you if you're trying to quit. Rule number 1, be prepared. Set your quit date in advance and mentally prepare yourself for your quit. Rule number 2, research medications. As I stated, I chose the nicotine gum because that seemed to fit my lifestyle a bit better than any of the other over-the-counter medications have. Now, in your research, if you decide to go with a prescription medication like Wellbutrin or Chantix, that includes a doctor's visit. Rule number 3, join a website like quitnet.com. And also, tell your friends and your family. Don't be afraid if they think what they think if you go back to quit or go back to smoking. The more support that you have in your quit, the better off you're going to be. And last but not least, don't beat yourself up if you slip or relapse. It happens. The important thing is to never quit quitting. So there you have it, just some tips on how to quit smoking, how I went about it. And if you do quit smoking and you do join quitnet.com, look me up. It's the same as my channel name, just without the one, Breezy Anna, and I will be more than happy to be your quit buddy. Also, James and I have a joint channel that we created. It's called Rebushi 91507. I'll put a link to our new channel there. It's going to be just a bunch of stuff that we do together, and of course then we'll have our own separate channels that we do our vlogs from. So you guys take care, leave me a comment, video response, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.